You know that old saying, a place for everything and everything in its place? Well, in my house, the problem is I don't have a place for everything. And to find a place for everything would require me to just like strip it. you know, I've been going through cupboards and I've been cleaning things out gradually. And, over the years, stuff just kind of accumulates and you don't have time to deal with it. So you put it somewhere and then you don't really think, do I still need this? Or there's the ever problematic, I might need it someday, so I better keep it. So the house gets fuller with things that you may or may not need, and then you don't have places for them, which is what I've got going on right now. So recently, I cleaned out the room in my house that is my office, has been for over 20 years. I've done different business things during that time, so I had lots of things that I had to admit to myself I would never use again. That I'm done with that part of my life and I can get rid of it. And so I cleaned out a ton of stuff. I was going to just send it to the thrift store, but then I realized I have so much stuff that has some value. I'll have a garage sale. And thankfully, one of my neighbors decided to have one a couple of weeks ago. So I just kind of piggybacked on hers and sold a bunch of my things. But I'm still left with things like, I don't know where to put this, or that cupboard is so full and I have to go through it yet again. And I was cleaning things out as time went on in the closet in my office. And then my daughter had children and they come and they want toys. So it kind of filled up, those empty spaces filled up with things to amuse children, which is wonderful, but it didn't solve a problem. So recently I've cleaned out my office, and in order to turn it into a studio space, because when I started painting in acrylics, I needed more space. Watercolors are not a big deal. I have a space for that, and I'll show it to you. I did a video recently on this is my studio space for watercolors, and you can see how crammed this is. And not only that, but with canvases, I started getting canvases in, and so I have some here, I have some underneath here, I have some in my office, and I don't even know where the rest of them are. Now that I look at this, I think maybe I need to clean that up because it's a visual clutter. And even if some of those things I can throw away because the things for my grandchildren are, old enough that they've forgotten about them. Even if I just put them in a neat little arrangement, then I could still have them there, or even put them on the side of the fridge, just so some of them have personal connections. Like, for example, this is my passport photo from when I was 24 years old and young and cute and didn't need glasses and had dark hair. I'm going to show you this scene and this counter, which is always it's a trouble spot. The reason why I'm showing you this is because one of the things I kind of promised myself with my YouTube channel was that I would be authentic. Because it's so easy to look at other people's pristine homes and perfect lives and think I'm a failure. I'm totally failing at this. But it's not true. I mean, we all have messes and we all have to clean them up. And we live with people who make messes and sometimes don't clean up after themselves, which is pretty common. So I'm going to show you a couple of other areas where work needs to happen. So because my house is small, I have to do double duty with spaces. And here's one of them. So when you come in the front door, which you can see over there, and come into the kitchen, and I've mentioned before, I don't have a big house. So these are the things that came out of my office, some of them. I found sunglasses I forgot I had. My shopping list is here. Plus there's some pictures that were on the wall of my daughters. Oops, stay there. And this is a decor piece that I use. It's kind of dusty and I usually put a candle in it in the summertime. Here's a library book. The Fun Habit seemed like a good idea. My sunglasses, which I keep here because they're prescription glasses. I keep them here so that when I go out the door, I can easily grab them. And here's a flyer for a furniture store, and we're not in the market for furniture. Here's some freesia bulbs that I might as well throw away because they've been here for 2 years and I still haven't planted them, and it's too late in the season. And then a bowl that needs to be wiped out, and a half a banana because I have the other half. And then get this, I have a saddle on the side of my kitchen. Why? Because when you have a small house with no garage, where do you keep it? It was in my office in a bag on a shelf, like on kind of tucked underneath everything for a long time. And I decided I'm going to sell it. So I got it out and cleaned it up, and I have to advertise it. So, but I have, in the meantime, I've got to put it somewhere, and it's just waiting for something to happen. And then I've got, well, we have some kind of lubricant that my husband put there, and this little tin that has odds and ends of whatever in it. My friend kindly gave me this kitchen cart, which is wonderful. And it's very helpful because it gave me more storage space. But it also has to double as everything else. So today it's doubling as a place to sign this painting. Stuff goes on it and out of it, and that's how it goes. But when I look over here, that's a fairly neat corner, but we put our dirty dishes here before they go into the dishwasher. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I've always had what I call the 5 o'clock rule, which means if I'm working, I don't do kitchen stuff and laundry and house stuff until after 5 o'clock. Here's the other side. Now this is my counter space, which is not very much. I got this plant as a gift and I kind of don't know what to do with it, but I've got this camel thing and I thought, well, I'll put it there, but it doesn't need to be on this counter. And then I've got, stevia, there's music CDs. It's just constant clutter. And I can put things away. Like in the back, I've got a basket with some vitamins and supplements and things, some of which I take, but I don't have any other place to put it in unless I clear something else out. I love magazines, and I got a whole bunch recently. So I put them on the table because I like to look at them while I'm having breakfast. So there's a little synopsis of how frustrating keeping house can be. And when you try to fit in painting and making videos and running a business, making supper every night, it can be frustrating, and it can be confusing, and it can be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to walk out the door. And sometimes I do that just to alleviate the frustration. Or I'll tackle something and go, okay, today is the day for this job. For example, let me show you this. This is a job that is going to happen, but not today. I'm a book person and I acquire books, but I need to sort them out and take some to the little free library and some to the used book purveyor. But in here, there's the paper that comes in every day and needs to be dealt with. So a clean desk doesn't happen all that often, and I really do try. So what's my point in all this? I would say what I want to say is it's okay to not have it all together all the time. I certainly don't. In fact, right now I have a dirty spot on my glasses, which makes it hard to see. Life is just like that. It can be frustrating and confusing and infuriating and tiring, and it's just how it is. But the important thing is not to let it get you down, not to see yourself as less than or hopeless or you're never going to measure up and that sort of thing. Because even the people with the fancy homes that are always perfect, that do the videos, I mean, maybe they do live like that, I don't know, but probably sometimes the dog throws up on the carpet and the kids spill Kool-Aid or whatever. Even when they're living the perfect life with perfectly healthy food, those people probably, give their kids popsicles. And we know that's not health food. It's important to keep in mind that life is messy and it's busy. You just have to do what you can, and little by little, just do what you can. But also relax about yourself. Give yourself a break. Sometimes I'm just totally unmotivated to do anything. I've got work in front of me that says, if you would do this, you would make more money. Or if you would do this, you would have a better life. Or if you would do this, blah, blah, blah. And all I want to do is just read a book. Being unmotivated, being frustrated, being confused, being tired is just normal. So don't beat yourself up over it. I'm not going to do a glue book today because I'll be honest, sometimes I just don't feel like it. Sometimes I'm not inspired. I've actually been painting today a little bit, working on this painting here, which I think is almost done. I keep looking at it and wondering if I need to do more, but I don't know yet. So the other thing is, if I want time to paint and use all those beautiful colors, something else has to give. And today I'm just keeping it simple with my video. I hope you will subscribe to my channel because I've got lots of interesting things happening I'd like to share. And I also would like us to be able to help each other. So if you have any wonderful tips about how to deal with a small house, and I sometimes feel like it's not like I have too much stuff. We use it all. And I mean, there are a few things that I could get rid of. How many vases do you need? And that sort of thing. But you can use the same dishes all the time. Sure, you can minimalize in some ways, but I like all my things. With my business, I've been mulling over a lot where to put my effort. I love doing YouTube videos, and I want to know what people want, but I also want you to know we're all unique. However, we share a lot of the same issues and the same problems. We need to keep that in mind. Another thing I think about is life is to enjoy. If there are things that you're not enjoying, see if you can stop doing them or change something so that it'll work better. That's what I'm trying to do. There are lots of things that I stopped doing. It's like I just went, okay, this isn't working for me. It's not helping me. And it's not getting me to where I'm going. In fact, I was just reading this morning in this little book that I created several years ago, Do It Easy, Simple Ways to Get From Where You Are to Where You Want to Be. It's good for me to read over my writing. So here's one I called Go Toward. Our lives are full of choices and opportunities. Every day we must make choices, some small and fairly insignificant, some monumental and life-changing. Too often we make these choices without thought or preparation. After all, we are busy. Our minds are occupied elsewhere, so we choose without stopping to think where this path might take us. And I'm certainly guilty of that. It's like, oh, there's a good idea. Maybe I should do that. And I've started stopping myself and saying, okay, wait a minute. If the thought starts with maybe I should, I need to just take a break and say, hold on a minute, maybe I shouldn't. It doesn't have to be this way. We can live our lives with a greater sense of purpose. One simple guide that I have used over and over with success when faced with a decision on how I will spend my time is to ask myself, will this go toward or away from the direction I want my life to take? And that question is so important because I forget to ask it all the time. But when I do, it's like, okay, I've been working on this and trying to make it work, and it's not working, and it's proving that it's not working, and it's continuously not working. Is it even going toward what I want my life to look like? Is it what I'm called to do? Is it making a difference to anybody, or should I just stop doing it? So one of the reasons I stopped adding things to my store at Summer Bay Studio this springtime was, number one, when I was praying, I felt that God was saying, you need to rest because I've had this cortisol problem that really is only cured by rest and relaxation. So when I go, okay, wait a minute, what does rest and relaxation look like to me? Well, partly it means stop doing the things that frustrate me and that don't work, or work not at the level that I would like them to, let's say. One of the directions that I want to go toward is to have a good sleep every night and not be wakened by a cortisol adrenaline surge that my body still thinks it has something to panic about. So I've done a lot of kind of soul searching. I started doing going through The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron and doing a lot of writing and going, okay, what means the most to me, and where can I put my time that will develop into the kind of life I really want to live. And painting and making videos actually came out on top. Even still, when I know that, it's like I've said to myself over and over, okay, all I'm going to do is paint and make videos. And I painted quite a bit over the winter. I've kind of stopped when we had to redo this whole room, and part of that redoing was having it all painted. Fortunately, my husband used to be a professional painter, so he happily painted it with 3 coats into this soft pink, which makes me so much happier because it was a dark green before, and that's so not me. Anyway, I know that those 2 things are my main things right now. I'm painting paintings. So there's one. I'm painting paintings that are getting bigger all the time and enjoying it so much. The problem with adrenal issues is unhappiness actually makes it worse. Happiness makes it better, makes you heal. I have to do things that make me happy in order to heal my body. I realize that making videos makes me happy. I enjoy it. I actually enjoy the editing process. I've edited a lot of books. I've written several, and I like that sort of cleaning up session with the videos. And actually, when it comes to my house, I like that cleaning up too. I like having cleaned up more than actually cleaning up. But as I've been going through things in my office here, office/studio, I have been getting that same kind of charge from editing. So editing my life and my belongings has also been very joy producing. So I have to remind myself that I'm doing these 2 things, and the rest of the time I'm doing more of these 2 things. So even though I have an Etsy store, I could put lots of stuff in there. In fact, I was thinking about it this week. Maybe I should just do this. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. But maybe I should put more thought into my YouTube channel because I really want it to be successful. So if you like what you get from me, please share it because that will help. And also click the like button and all that helps the algorithm. As a lesson to me and perhaps you, if you go, okay, what does give me the most happiness? And how can I incorporate more of that into my life? Now I'm looking for a little sign that I had here. I bought this at Hobby Lobby a couple of years ago. And it says, do more of what makes you happy. And I bought that because I needed reminding. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. Thanks for listening. I hope you got something out of it. And if you did, please leave a comment and click the like button and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you next time.